Good morning, Block 2. I hope you are all doing well. It is currently about midnight on Monday night. I am very, very tired. Not sure if you guys heard or not. Hopefully, Mrs. Sexton shared the news, but there was a pretty big surprise at the Smirchna house on Sunday night. Olivia, for a second, thought she peed her pants, but it turns out she broke her water, and we had some real sciencey action going on. She had to get some magnesium put in her body, like we talk about in class, for high blood pressure. We had some complications and some hiccups along the way, but at 2:35 yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, this afternoon on Monday, this beautiful little ray of sunshine was born. Olivia did a great job. She really toughed it out, and it wasn't easy, but I learned a lot, and I learned that I don't know a lot. But everybody, this is her name is Simpson. Her middle name is Louise, named after my mom and Olivia's grandma. And then her last name Smirchna. So her name is Simpson Louise Smirchna. We're going to call her Simi for short, as in Simi. So far, she's quite a ball of fire for being 1 day old, but we'll end up calling her middle name is Louise, and we'll call her Simi Lou, Olivia says. So, with that being said, I don't have a whole bunch of time here. I did not know this was going to happen. I kind of got to roll with the punches on sub notes here, but again, you guys are the best physical science class in the school, and we kind of need to roll with the punches. So I'm gonna kind of jump right to the point here because I haven't slept in about 2.5 days, and I need to get back to my wife. But you guys have 3 objectives, maybe 4 objectives today as a class, all right? And I'm planning on hopefully coming back Wednesday. If I don't come back Wednesday, I'll drive back to Fremont tonight or tomorrow night and make better plans. But objective number 1 is for you guys to get out a blank white sheet of paper or a note card, and your job, you guys can see I wrote it up on the board here, but we've never ever ever talked about Geiger counters. Okay, that's pronounced in a few different ways, but your first job is to tell me what a Geiger counter is. And again, I don't need you guys to copy it off of YouTube. I want you to either make a brochure or a note card, and I think note cards might be the way to go. But your job not only is to tell me what a Geiger counter is, your job is to tell me why should I buy it, okay? Why would I, and maybe what kind of careers should have one of these, okay? How have they changed over the years? If you guys are lucky enough, you should probably walk over, maybe send someone like Chase over to ask Mr. Champ, hey, Mr. Champ, do you have a Geiger counter we can borrow? And you guys can even look at it. There's some very, very old-fashioned ones, but you guys will learn that Geiger counters are things that we use to track radiation. And you guys have done a great job so far of learning about radiation, and that what that is atoms spewing stuff out of their nucleus. And that can be alpha particles, it can be beta particles, or even gamma rays. So that should probably take you about 15 minutes. And I'll be honest, I want you to be a good salesman. I want you to have a picture. I want you to tell me why should I have this, and especially what type of job should definitely have it, okay? Now, that will take you to thing number 2. If you need to, take a break, but thing number 2 is one of my it's one of the best videos I show in class. So, it's from a guy named Veratasium, depending on how you pronounce that, but he goes and he looks up the 10 most radioactive places on Earth. Now, it is outstanding. There are quiz questions we'll talk about, but it talks about some of those nuclear disasters and what those things are in the world. And there's the awesome spin at the end that tells you about the most dangerous thing in the whole world in terms of radiation. And it's very, very powerful, especially for teenagers and vaping, okay? I do expect us to pay attention. I do expect if you guys have questions, tell Miss Ramsey to stop it, but they go to Chernobyl. Some of you Call of Duty players will recognize a few of the places from Call of Duty maps, but he uses Geiger counters in this video to track how much radiation he has. At that point in time, you guys can kind of take a break and maybe have a short discussion about it, but what we're then going to jump to, and I don't love the order of this, but I think it's going to work best. What we'll end up doing later this week as a class is talking about nuclear power, okay, and why I think it's so important. Because we're going to run out of fossil fuels. We're going to run out of coal and natural gas. So nuclear power is very, very important. And what you guys will learn is that Chernobyl, if you haven't already in social studies, was probably the greatest disaster ever in the history of the world, in terms of a nuclear power. So I got to kind of think a little bit here. I'll tell Mr. Champ or Miss Ramsey, but you guys are either going to watch the River Monsters episode about where Jeremy Wade goes fishing in Chernobyl, and the key is that he's looking for a mutant fish that's underwent radiation, or there's another video that Mr. Champ has about the radiation in the Chernobyl disaster and how it all came to be. They're both great. I'm really not going to make us take notes, but I do expect our phones put away and us paying attention. Um, if you guys get done, you'll start working on a little project. And Miss Ramsey, if they have time, what you're eventually going to do is take a stance on nuclear power. And you're going to start making a list of pros and cons. And do you think we should have it or do you think we shouldn't have it? And what you'll really do is make arguments on both sides of it because that's what you guys are going to do when you vote. As you get older, you need to look at the pros and cons of each thing. So, again, I'm going to be a tired guy here, but I will get stuff figured out for Wednesday. I'll either be back or I'll make plans that are really good and will actually teach. But for right now, I kind of need us to roll at the punches, and I got to go take care of my wife and my daughter. So, Block 2, you guys are the best class I have during the day. Please stay on the ball. Please keep learning. Keep in mind, we do this chapter for a reason. Right now in this hospital, there's radioactive isotopes being used in medicine for x-rays and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you guys being on the ball and on task and taking care of the sub. Have a great day. If anything comes up, just go ask Mr. Champ. All right? I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.